Ladies and gentlemen, we welcome you to the MAAFA Author Circle celebration as we lift our voices, our hearts, and behold each other, because to be seen and heard is the ultimate gift and honor that we can share with another human being, and that's what we're doing here today. Ladies and gentlemen, Isaiah Downey.
Hello everyone, welcome to Good Afternoon. Allow me to introduce myself. My name is Zay, and I am an author resident at ConTextos as the first very young facilitator and published author. It was my honor and pleasure to be a part of this MAAFA circle, representing all these authors here today. I would like the MAAFA authors to give themselves a round of applause for sticking through the process of being able to become It's an accomplishment that they thought they were going to be able to achieve, or it was going to be possible. They even had the courage to take a deep dive into some creative writing that might take a life-changing turn. It took courage to be able to speak about traumatizing events that molded them into the person that they are today, that they have become to today, but that doesn't define who they truly are or can become. I hope this process gives them the courage to do something different, to show them that they have something to say too, and that their stories matter too. We realize that we all have stories that we consider our truths, that there is someone who is listening to your story, regardless of who you are, what you got going on, or how you're viewed as. The life coaches who stand behind these guys value these young men as sons of their own. Their passion and hard self-love is a sense of care for them and always wanting to back them in the time of need, almost like family matters, fresh friends, or even more. It's a family energy that comes from the space, from life lessons to serious moments and sad moments, as well as love, care, and understanding moments. The growth of character through this journey within itself was a struggle that everyone overcame. I saw the progress from the very beginning to now, which is different beyond from now to then. The trust has grew over time, the writing and creativity has expanded, and the willingness to volunteer has grown even stronger. Authors express the same feelings of the fear of writing, or not wanting to speak at all. The fact that they took a leap of faith to do something different, or something that most people wouldn't even dare to do. They didn't even dare to try. They took a leap of faith into something that isn't in the norm of what could be considered the focus of everyday life, survival life in the city of Chicago, Illinois. They not only prove the ones who judge their character flaws or past mistakes wrong, as well as the ones who don't see value in them. I want to be the first to say that you proved them wrong beyond the reach of harm. They honestly can't sit at the table with you, or even the self-doubt that you probably gave yourself that you were wrong about. I can relate to y'all in so many ways that I don't even think y'all will even understand for it. There was moments I was closed off too, like I do not enter trespass society. I never thought of publishing or even being a publishing event hosted. This is my first publication event, as well as the differences that I'm able to be free to speak and being the lead facilitator role, speaking at a special event. The last time I had an event, I was incarcerated and I couldn't speak. My fellow brothers from the program spoke my piece for me in my absence and sent me love while I was locked up in the county jail. Last time it was free Zay, now it's backwards. Zay is free, no more free. I'm free to be able to speak at this time and get informed in a better position. This experience was humbling and has grounded me to always keep striving to go hard. The stories of the battles that God has handed down to each of the author has a unique meaning and sense of his own. I don't think some of the others realize how fortunate of a situation they were truly blessed to be in, around people who can actually care and want us to be better more so than we want to for ourselves. Life coaches became fathers and guided figures that individuals needed or are in search for. As long as they can save one life, the rest will follow. The rest will follow behind. The authors gave life coaches hope too far as seeing that there's another chance to fix the wrongs that was built before us, to help us stop the furthering of the damage, to keep life pumping in Chicago's West Garfield area. We all have a story that needs to be heard, but deserves recognition like winning a lottery pick. The platform for that is here in today's time. It's meant to help change the already made narrative and to create a new one. No matter where you're from, because you are just as important as the next story. All you need is a chance, and be willing to give it a chance. All the other chances of things that we give our attention to. Help keeping the change going and realize that the risk of writing is beneficial for you in the end. Love y'all. Good luck on y'all journey. Stay out.
Our mission to the best and mind, body, spirit, so that you can every best out of the city, one life at a time.
I would like to start this speech by thanking God for giving us another day of life. I would like to thank the testimony mom for giving me a chance of being heard, giving me this opportunity to speak and express my feelings on papers. As of this year, my experience with the MAAFA Redemption Project woke me up to see what life was really about. But not only that, they helped me find my way back to the Lord, because that's the part that I was lacking at in the point of my life. After coming every day and reading on the Word, I learned something new every day that I didn't know before. This program helped me reveal myself in a relationship with my family and friends and God. MAAFA helped me find myself and see what potential I had that I didn't see in myself. My experience with the Arctic Circle was kind of a struggle for most of my brothers in the circle. I say that because everybody was uncomfortable telling other people their business. After hearing Lisa and Zay encouraging us to be brave as we write and pushing us to thrive for greatness, actually helped some of the brothers, because they started to open up and feel a little comfortable and start to actually write. We started to vent to each other about what we gonna write about or our book about. My brothers started to ask for help from each other. It was like a brotherhood. We started to feel love and care for Lisa, so it brought some of the brothers out of that stage of shyness and fear. So with that being said, my experience with my brother was amazing. I learned a lot from these brothers and willing to do it again. They really opened my eyes about how to go through life without going back to what I know. My experience with ConTextos led me to open up and express my thought and bring out the hurt I was holding on to. At this time, I learned that our voice and our opinions do matter despite our circumstances. Also, ConTextos gave me the courage to write, because at first I didn't want everybody to know my feelings. But I realized that I got a story to tell, and it's a lot of people who are willing to hear my story. If they read my book, it will influence them not to go down the wrong path I did, but it's never too late to change. But I would like to say thank you to MAAFA and ConTextos for helping me publish a book. I would never in my life think about writing a book, so thank them for giving me this chance. Thank y'all, and God bless y'all.
I want to start off by saying thank you to the MAAFA Redemption Project for letting me be a part of this type of organization. The life coaches brought me so much understanding about life and God. I want to start about ConTextos. They made us start by letting us write about anything. I always wanted to write a book. Lisa and Zay came in and let us know we can do whatever we put our mind to. I was happy to start off with my book. The first day I was blown away by I can really publish my own book. I think the ConTextos group gave us another understanding how to express ourselves with no judgment, and that's what we needed. I am grateful that the MAAFA got ConTextos a part of them through our journey. ConTextos helped me share my story, open up my feelings and thoughts in our session. It helped me heal from my past and how to let my thoughts on paper. That's something we needed, and that helped us vent to each other. We shared each other's story, give each other feedback. ConTextos made it completely comfortable to have deep conversation and let us know our stories need to be heard and known. It made me understand what I've been through matters, and I should write about it, so I did. That's the best move I did. Lisa made me comfortable. Her energy is amazing. She always had a big smile on her face, and that's what we needed. Even some of the guys being difficult, she stayed happy and continued to help others. MAAFA and ConTextos changed my life and let me know that God is real, guiding me through the right path and being patient with all of us. I want to say thank you all for coming and supporting all of us, celebrating our published book. And now this is the moment we've been waiting for. Thank you.
Is the moment where you actually hold the book you have published in your hands. That's what's about to happen right now. So, without further ado, these human beings have added to the international library to reach hearts and minds across the world, not only in this room and circles of loved ones, but indeed internationally. So we're going to start first by honoring and celebrating authors who have published in the compilation. And as you know, a compilation is a collection of stories. This is a collection of memoirs and Sankofa stories. So without further ado, here we go. We call to be celebrated published author Damian Garcia. Please welcome to the stage published author Delshawn Whitmore. Please welcome to the stage published author and MAAFA life coach, Mr. Mike Downey. Hughes. That was good. We did that fast. Yeah? We have two more authors we're celebrating in today's compilation celebration. Author Mr. Robert Solomon. There's a whole lot of cameras. last but not least, please let us celebrate Mr. Jaira Kelsey.
There we go.
Okay. I'm on board. All right. Honoring our journeys, available on the issue website and also for purchase to read our extraordinary memoirs and COFA stories. At this time, we turn to celebrate authors who took the depth of commitment to publish their own individual illustrated memoir, which means not only did they write different pieces about transformative experiences and relationships, they did the layout, they did the graphic design, they selected the images, the illustrations. And at this point, we want to go ahead and celebrate our first author. I see his family here celebrating. The author of My Life, author Raymond Zapalua. Look, we're not leaving you. Hang on one second. We just get a little glitch in the matrix. That's okay. Ray, you do this and the get calm now.
You have such a lovely voice. Yes.
Oh, you're good. Here we go. That's right. Make it good.
Yeah. The long way and the short way.
The author of Courage Paved My Way, life coach and published author, Jerome Downey.
There we go.
The author of The Road to Redemption, Dion McCullough. This author decided to use one of his 6-word memoirs as the title of his book. Even though I'm broken, I'm divine. Author Debonair Hall.
Yeah, it went quick. Thank you.
This author, also known as a March Pisces, went deep and took tremendous emotional risks. Can't define my truths. Javante Damon.
Yep. Good.
That's nice.
Take it. The author of Becoming the Man I Need to Be, Vernell Brown. A man committed to MAAFA mission and community, and the author of A Bike and a Young Boy, author Danico Harris. Great. An author who is renowned for his earnest feedback and pivotal questions. The author of Breaking Out the Trap, Sean Jenkins. We want to acknowledge some authors that couldn't physically be present today. The author Kiwan Glass, who wrote Hope is Never Too Late. I'd like to ask your brother Shimon to step forward. Shimon, will you receive his book on his behalf? True love is picking each other up when we fall. And Shimon stepped into the gap and help Kiwan. He did the layout, graphic design, and illustration of his little brother's book. That is love. That is love. Marsha, make sure you see the cover. Marsha, look at the cover. We also have the book, A Struggle of a Mountain Man by Fabrice Spicen. Trouble Don't Last, Growth Does by Pedro Wade. And The Value of Family by Jaleel Matthews. At this time, we open the mic and are going to ask authors to step forward to read excerpts from their books. Two of our authors have a family commitment, which is pulling them to leave a little bit earlier than anticipated. So we're going to ask for Nakia and Javante to bless the mic with their readings, and we're going to do a little Q&A before they need to go. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Author Circle, where we read each other's stories. Here we go. Give a round of applause.
Hello, how y'all doing? My name is Nakia Hughes. I'm publishing this book. It's called Not Overlooking a Second Chance. I remember when I got shot in the front window waiting on my ride. It blew me because at first I thought it was a setup. But I'm like, nah, them boys really came to my house. So after that I started looking at things different. It changed me because I could have been dead and I had a baby. So I just thank God every chance I get. And what he did for me to make me want to make me want to stay out the way and do things was right. I really had to open my eyes to realize things not a game. I like how I'm coming as a young man because a lot of things I used to do, I don't do it no more. I like getting money and taking care of my family. All that other stuff will pass. The new me wants to be everything in life and don't be in the mix of nothing. If it ain't about my money, if it ain't about money and family, I go to work and home. What I'm saying is that I look at things different than how I used to.
How everyone doing today? My name is Jerome Downey, and I'm reading the favorite part out of my book. What I miss from my childhood is my friends. It really hurt me that they got killed at a very young age. They still had a whole life ahead of them. One of them had kids. It just hurt my heart to see our young generation leaving so soon, with a whole life still ahead of us. There's so much stuff to do besides gang. We could do different things like travel the world, see different things. We died too young. I always ask God to keep me covered with the blood of Jesus and this cruel world we living in. I just pray that I live to see my kids have kids.
Javante and Nakia, as you reflect upon the books that you've published, would you share with us what you think is the most important message that you want people to receive, or a favorite part of the book? Will you unpack that for us?
I want to say, at first, I never thought I could write a book. Like, I never looked into it. Like, that just wasn't me. But now that I wrote one, it seemed like I just want to keep writing more and more, express my feelings about life and stuff like that. So I just say, I want to keep writing books. Just keep writing.
Well, my favorite part of my book that I wrote, and this really means something to me, was about my childhood friends. Because these friends that I actually wrote about, not here anymore. And I was in a picture with all 5 of them, and all 5 of them gone. And the only one still alive. So that's the most important part of my book that means something to me.
Is there anything else that you want us to know or understand as human beings alive today in Chicago 2022? Any other message? Just understand that you have the mic if there's anything else you want to share with us. A charge, a message, a call.
That's what I want to say to the MAAFA Redemption Project, these young gentlemen back here. Stay out the streets. If ain't nobody else gonna tell y'all, I'm gonna tell y'all, the streets ain't where it's at no more. It definitely ain't. I just got shot. I was shot 3 weeks ago on my birthday. Man, listen, it ain't, the streets ain't where it's at, that's all I'm gonna say. I want to say thank you to the MAAFA, my other MAAFA family, friends.
I'm Author Troy, and the name of my book was Grace and Favor, because I believe that God shows us all grace and favor every day that He wakes us up. Okay, so I'm going to read to you a little small portion of my book. One night I was walking from 63rd in Halsted to 63rd in Canton. So that's about 1.5 miles, about 2 miles. And it's raining, so I'm thinking to myself, like, why is, it's like, everything's going wrong in my life. Things that I couldn't imagine. It's just like, man. But I knew deep down inside that I had turned away from God and that I was being disobedient. It's kind of like when our parents, they chastise us for being disobedient. It's just like tough love. But He gives me grace and favor by waking me up every day, giving me a chance to make it right. So, So on my walk, I talked to God. I told Him that if He wakes me up every day, I will make something out of myself. I will get up with a purpose. I told Him that I was tired of how I was living, and I would do whatever that He wants me to do. And so that led me to write a poem called All I Was Searching For. For Romeo there was Juliet. For water there is fire. For heaven there is hell. But as for me, I walk, not alone, but with God.
And about that night, that was the night I decided to walk with God. That was not the night that he decided to walk with me. In fact, he was walking with me all along. But it wasn't until recently that it's like he's revealing more things to me. The more that I read his word and I'm around more people that's in his word, more God-fearing people. What else? Okay, and I want to leave you all with a scripture. Jeremiah 29:13. Seek me wholeheartedly and you shall find me. And then I got a quote of my own. You don't have to be great to start. You just have to start to be great.
That's right.
With that bring, only torment. And I will not deceive, because what sensation will I satisfy? I must be the change I wish to see in the world, otherwise what have I become? A hypocrite? God forbid.
That's just a small snippet of my story.
Arthur Ramsapaloo. Where I'm going, I'm going to take a road trip. I love to drive. I'm going to see my grandparents in heaven. I'm going to go to Paris. I'm looking forward to new beginnings. I'm going to get a good job. I am going above and beyond. I am going somewhere many can't go. I am going to help others no matter what. I am going to start a family. I am going to be a great father. I am going to see better days. I am going to have faith no matter what. Thank you.
How y'all doing today? I'm the author of The Road to Redemption, and I'm going to read my memoir part out of my book. From good to bad in the blink of an eye, because my mother was taking care of us, doing good. I had everything I wanted until I was 14. I found out my mom was on drugs and she lost everything. At this time, I had 4 brothers and 2 sisters. I was the oldest boy and had a sister older than me. She was the first girl, but back to my story. I got sent to the streets to take care of my family. Like my brothers were looking up to me, so I went and got introduced to the drug game. My brother was looking up to me like it was the right thing to do. But it wasn't until you go to jail, sitting there with nobody to call or to rely on. So once I knew how the system worked, things started changing. I wanted to go back to school and get a job and do better with my life. But that didn't work because I was happy with what I was doing. Until I went to jail when I was 15, I went to the juvenile prison for kids my age. At this point, I thought I was big and bad because I was in jail. That I don't give a F about going to jail and what would come with it. So after I got out of jail, it was like I went right back to the block because that's something I was doing. And plus, my friends and girls was around me. So it was like out of nowhere, my brother started crying because he was about to go to jail. But me being the big brother I am, I told them to put it on me because I wanted my brother to be home and just tell my mother I'm locked up. But I wasn't scared because I knew I was finna be sitting there for a minute. So this was my first time experiencing the big boy jail. It was nerve-wracking because I know I was going to run to gangbangers who got something to prove and different people attitude and all that. The sisters are in a good position. Like, example, one of my brothers called me around 12 a.m. and if my brother called and asked some money on you, I'm like, yeah. So he said, can I borrow $150 to get out of this situation? That's it.
I'm gonna read about I got something to live for. I was nervous the day my daughter was born. I was happy and nervous at the same time. Ever since she was born, she changed my life around. Now I get to make sure my daughter have a good father in her life. daughter was not, my father was not in my life when I was a child, so now I know how that feels. What's on my mind right now is trying to do better for myself so I can be able to be a good father for my daughter and try to make my people proud. I was happy about it. I feel like it's a blessing. Everything changed when I had a child. I love my daughter from the bottom of my heart. Every time I see her, she just makes me happy. Now I know I got something to live for. It was a blessing that I had a daughter. I think I had a daughter for a reason, so I can know how to treat a female. I'm always going to ride for her. I love being her daddy. She's not going to play about me, and I'm not going to play about her. I know when my daughter grow up, she want to be a star. I can see it already because she is smart already. I was so happy when she was born. That changed my life and how I move now.
I'm divine, and I want to read 2 excerpts of my book. Wow. No unity, no honor, no love. I'm from where you get it. Wait, I'm from where you gotta look out for yourself. If you don't, a motherfucker gonna get you for everything. You gotta, give for everything you got. You can't put nothing down. If you do, it's gone. I'm from the bottom where it's nothing to be proud about. What is, it kills your hopes or for dreaming, making a way out. Where you pray and hope for better days. Where you gotta get it out the mud or then punch a clock. And my other insert is where I'm going. Where I'm going. The real question is where I'm at. I can tell you that right now. I'm lost, trying to find myself mentally. I know my purpose, or do I? Or is I'm selling myself short, or is I'm not doing enough? But at least I know where I'm willing to go. I want to be at peace with my soul and stop the excuses and just put in the work. Go somewhere like Dubai. I'm like looking for peace, love, family. My goal is to become the man that leads his family in a righteous way and walk in honor and faith and spread the leading energy on his own. Thank you.
My name is Damien Garcia, and I'm from the Reed, where I'm from. I'm from poverty, from Wales and Jackson. I'm from the worst part of our West, a dangerous fun, but overall a war zone. I'm from weeds and dirt in the backyard. It might not be much, but it's home. I'm from noodles and bologna sandwiches, from Paulette and Emmanuel. I'm from the strong and smart, from everybody ain't your friend and don't trust what you can't see. I'm from Chicago, born and raised, but still got roots from the island to Texas to Pennsylvania, all the way to Africa. Thanks to the Garcia and Gordons, from family where hope is lost, but we still find a way. No matter how hopeless we was, Uncle Ricky made a way. Thank you.
Good afternoon, everybody. My name is Mike, and my poem is to myself. And it reads, I'm from a place of fear, a place of discouragement, a place of when doing right is wrong, a place of being taken advantage of, a place of not being enough, a lifeless place, a place of sworn secrecy to myself.
Good afternoon, my name is Jerome Downey, and I'm a published author. I will be reading the insert from my book, from the Sankofa story. When I was about 4 years old, my daddy would drive my mother to work early in the morning, and I would ride with him. Every day I watched him drive. So he must have seen the intense look on my face as I studied his hand position and the way he would turn the steering wheel. Because one day when he dropped my mother off at work. He pulled into an empty lot and set me on his lap and allowed me to guide the steering wheel while he drove it. Wow. I could not believe it. My hand was on, not only on the steering wheel, but the car was moving as well. I did not see that coming. What that did for me at 4 years old was amazing. First of all, it built my confidence, and it also secured my love, his love for me. For a young boy to experience those two things at an early age could set him up for the rest of his life. Social issues, educational issues, relational issues, and any other issues could not stand when you know for sure that your daddy loves you.
But no, seriously though, I got a piece, but it's not in the compilation, but it was inspired through the authors and, my own process and personal life. It's called Surviving in the City. Only thing that be on my mind when I'm running through Chicago cautious is always to remain on point, staying aware and staying focused. But most importantly of them all, staying alive. Not just for me, but for my son and my family. Nah, I won't even cap, most importantly for my son. I lost some close friends from school I haven't seen in a long time. It's between 5 or 6 years since I reunited with some of them. It's just life gets in the way sometimes if it ain't your everyday crowd. But the love and remembrance of those days when we were young jets, kids, are still memories that remind in my head like flashbacks from a rerun of a previous episode from a TV show that I was watching the night before. Never thought those that died would meet their demise that early. The memory sends chills down the back of my head as I'm able to recount the certain moments from being silly in the classroom or the detention room to grab a hot cheese fry from a local restaurant that surrounded the school areas. Those trips being on the CTA before the war became overly turned to how it is today. I lost one of the guys last year too around this time. In a way, he was like the glue to the puzzle to everything for us. It was a tough loss that's been a minute to take in because now it's been hard for us since broke left. But at the same time, I always tell myself to keep moving forward despite how the universe decides whose is what fate. My family's people had a close devastation prior to entering this year too. Stepping into this year made me feel as long as I remain focused on doing what I can do to stay righteous, hopefully I can make everyone proud. I know I can figure it out as I go. Slow motion better than no motion. Day by day, brick by brick. One stepping stone at a time. I sit back and question certain decisions I choose to make. Wonder what I would have done differently. Ain't no telling. I got faith in myself, that's the only thing that matters.
We ask you to start thinking about questions that you have, questions that you want to ask authors about their journey. Zay and I as facilitators, it's our responsibility to kick things off, and that's what we're just about to do. So we're going to ask a few questions and then ask you to raise your hand, and then Zay's going to come on over and pass you the mic so we can have a conversation. And that's just as any time in Author Circle, you don't have to participate, you're inspired to if you choose to. So here we go. Let's start off with this question. How would you describe the journey of writing your own book? Something that was surprising, hard, or easy? Anyway, how would you describe your journey of writing your book?
That's when they started opening up, because they started coming to me, asking me for help on their stuff. So, because I was getting mine done fast, so I'm like, it really opened me up. Like, I can do it, so I can really express my feelings on paper if I really put my mind to it. So that's what I get out of it.
If you want to just...
Oh, it was amazing. I had a good time about it, I wasn't like, uncomfortable, but I was just like going with the flow basically because I always wanted to write a book, so I just took the action for it, so it was amazing. I'm glad that everybody shared their story, so I just opened up even more where everybody else started sharing their stories about it.
As long as you be vulnerable, open up, and just be you.
Emotional roller coaster. This is way out the box for me. I am not an open person. I'm a guarded person. And so to share and to allow people to come in was difficult for me. This is important because of the circle. I realized and discovered on this journey that I looked at writing as punishment and not creative or expression. Because growing up, we used to have to write 100 times. I will not talk. And so I always associated words and writing to punishment. And so I had to break down several walls, even to do this. I had to break down several walls. So it was tough, but it was rewarding because it provided me freedom and liberty to expression and art.
About your book, what is the most important message or part of the story that you want readers to receive? Oh, yeah.
I didn't have an entire book. I was a portion of the compilation. But one of the things that I would like anybody that reads any of the books or any of the compilations to take hold or take away from it is to have hope, have faith, and be encouraged. Because where you are right now in your journey is not the end game of your journey. Just like I should mention earlier.
Everybody can relate to it. We was talking about the circle one time. What was so fearful about writing?
The hardest part for me was, I guess, going back, having to replay all of the trauma, some of the trauma that you've been through, and then like self-examining yourself on what to do next time. So I guess the biggest piece would be like self-reflecting, and not get too caught up in, making bad mistakes, because you still got to live at the end of the day, but you just should get wiser and get better. Your decisions should get better, and it should better your life.
What do you guys feel like y'all gained from this experience, from this circle, from amongst each other as brothers?
I just feel relief letting certain things out that I wouldn't, necessarily just let out. It's just like a relief. So I feel like weight off my shoulders, Just feel good, way better than before.
Like, I see the group, our pride. We put our pride to the side and we actually open up with each other, you know what I'm saying? So I don't know about everybody else, but a lot of men, like our pride be in the way. So in our group, in our session, a lot of people start opening up, start writing, and start to understand. So that's what I learned about being in this group, being in the session with MAAFA and with ConTextos. Like we put our pride to the side, so everybody hold each other accountable. So that's one thing I learned and I understand about the group.
Like I said before, it's like a brotherhood.
And everybody that's here that's right now. So that's the most benefit out of the game is just new family.
3 generations now grow up here on the west side. And I'd like to ask, growing up so young and going through so much pain, I was wondering, does that writing help you get over some of that pain?
Yeah, you should already know that. That's my father, by the way.
A lot, I seen a lot, I did a lot. Man, that actually did work for me, put my pain
A lot of times people look at us and if you don't know us, you would think, oh, ain't no hope for them. But now through this, meeting them, knowing them, I know first there is a hope for us too. We can be the change that we want to see in the world. And it's not just me, it's a plethora of us that's more than capable of being successful, more than capable of being the change that we want to see. And it's right to help us unlock that potential so that we can really reach the level of greatness that's in